things would happen. I don't know if that's happened. I haven't made any calls. I haven't gotten on the hotline. I haven't said anything about it until now. I don't really think about it much since I'm not on the hook for anything. I'm not worried about it. I didn't roll over anybody. I didn't answer any interrogatories. I didn't get grilled under the hot lights. I didn't get interrogated. I didn't get questioned. I got asked 2 questions. What's that guy's phone number? What's this guy's phone number? That's it. It's been nearly 4 years now. No questions. That's because they don't need to ask them. No, no, no. And more to the point, I don't need to ask any. I don't need to. It's fun though, since I get to. And as a citizen, it's kind of my responsibility to ask certain questions. I won't go into the list right now. And the reason why this matters is because typically a citizen in this position is supposed to shut the fuck up and let professionals handle it. That means I'm supposed to hire a lawyer. That means I'm supposed to be contrite and cautious and concerned about saying the wrong thing and messing things up because of the way things are. It's usually possible for somebody to fuck themselves up real good if they're one of them loudmouth braggarts who think they know all kinds of shit and think they're going to run around telling people how things are going to be. I'm going to insist on my rights, blah, 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 blah. I'm not anything like that. For at least 2.5 years, I've been keenly aware of how little Michael Kuzi got to become a gilt-edged fake shem. Like I'm not supposed to be here at all. But here I am. Live strong. I don't really care to make anything worse. I don't want things to get worse for anybody. And from what I know, a lot of people wanted things to get a lot worse for lots of people, including me, especially me. Lots of people don't think that I have it nearly hard enough because I'm still alive, because I still have money in my pocket, because I still have people who are technically allowed by law to be left free to congregate with me at their own free will. Most people think this is a bad idea. Here, oh, Lionel and Harrigan again. Hi. Staying off the grid, 3844. Gay, bearded, homosexual. I don't have a beard. Look, everyone, it's a homosexual. Where? Look at the gay man staying off the grid. What? Why? Gay. I will cop to queer. I don't see that I'm gay. And then I don't know what gay means anymore in this concept. I am pretty happy, but I'm not gay. I'm content because I've done wonderful things as a citizen for my country, most of which you'll never fucking find out about. There's no lack of reticence on my part to not say too much, ever, because for one thing, nobody's paying me. For another, hang on, these are what my groupies do now. Hi, gay, bearded, homosexual. Look, everyone, it's a homosexual. Look at the gay man. Now, I don't know if this, I honestly don't know. Is this a genuine gesture of respect? Or is this just AI synthetic chat robots intercepting whatever messages were actually sent and replacing them with SHIP messages that are mathematically configured to try and get a rise out of me so they can figure out where my buttons are? Since nobody's really sure where my buttons are anymore, since I guess they blew the control board on me, since nobody really bothered to talk to me or get to know me on a real level until fairly recently. And things seem to be going pretty well. I haven't had anybody flip out and stab me. I haven't wanted to flip out and stab anybody. I haven't wanted to bare my soul or ask for forgiveness or offer to help. Help. Watch out for them helpers. You gotta watch out for them helpers. I don't need to have certain kinds of questions answered for me. Ever. Certain things I figured out just fine on my own after third or fourth murder attempt, which Is it really a murder attempt if the person knows that the target is invulnerable and they're just testing for flair? It's hard to say, but that's one of the wonderful things about United States Marine Code of Justice jurisdiction. You don't have to wonder. In fact, you're encouraged not to. You don't get to know. And even if you do know, you still don't know. It's none of your fucking business, pal. Certain things are like that. And when I discovered that, conveniently, after going to jail on Christmas Eve and being offered a Christmas dinner delivered by a undeniably fuckable elf. She had everything but the. I think she was wearing one of the hats too. She was sent into my cell with my food, and she actually opens the door and walks in, and she's carrying it with her arms outstretched, and she's kind of shivering. And I didn't understand this at all, other than to immediately know that it didn't matter whether or not she was exhilarated because she was afraid I was going to attack her, or she was afraid that I was going to attack her, and she might not remember it if I used my mind wipe spell or whatever the fuck. People didn't know what the fuck they're thinking. They had no idea what was going on. They knew that something weird was going on at this place. My place, my residence. I'm the lord of the demesne, so I know which one I'm talking about. People were kind of wondering, like, what's this snotty little kid going to be doing? He thinks you're so sharp. And it's not as though I felt like my rights were violated and that was a big deal. It's that I saw them being openly mocked on camera, on record, in court on Christmas Day, the birthday of the Prince of Peace, Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. And whether intentionally or not, these top-of-the-class geniuses were deciding that the cherry on the top of my experience was going to be watching them mock the Christ, which I guess is big for Satanists. I guess mocking the Christ and getting away with it. I guess you all love that. Okay, fine, whatever. I'm not gonna argue about it. But because of a certain series of undeniably hard to believe facts that layered together created a virtually impossible to believe picture of what was going on, I was essentially completely innocent of all the things that I was suspected of being guilty of that day, and in addition to a bunch of crimes that I never had anything to do with, never, and had been deliberately set up to take the fall for. Also, my attitude of complete unawareness of, like, why is this happening? Why is that happening? Why is this such a big deal? How come I moved 200 miles south of where I was born, and it's like we're waiting for the Robert E. Lee? Like, nobody told me. You've got a town named Castle Rock? Wow, is that anywhere near Derry? Like, nobody explained this shit to me ever. Like, as far as I know, they could have built Castle Rock over the winter in 2013. I don't know. I never looked at the map that much, and it never was mentioned to me as being a real place. And then when I discovered what this place is, I'm like, what? How does everybody not pick up a collection plate and pass it around and try to send me here every year for summer vacation? This place is a carnival, and I can see how it wasn't a carnival that I wasn't really invited for. And when I was moved down here by, I'm going to say lawyers, I'll leave it at that. When I was sent here to check out a house, it was like the 15th or 16th house that had been offered to me after the mandatory 5 or 6 year waiting period, waiting for my ridiculous situation to get to a place where I could leave the house where I had grown up in. I haven't been back there since the last time I was arrested in front of it, which was a while ago. I don't need to go back there and see who's there. That's kind of one of the reasons why money is given to people when they sell houses. It's so they don't come back. And then it would not be looked upon gladly by anybody in Lake Forest Park if I were to go hang out and try to nosy round and find out the tenor of the populace's attitude towards me. I'm sure it's not great and probably not likely to improve anymore if I actually show up there. Hi, gay bearded homosexual. Look, everyone, it's a homosexual. Look at the gay man. Not gay, stop you gay. Why old are you? How old are you? Lionel Marion Haitigan. How old am I? Well, I was obviously born yesterday, so why don't you tell me? Yeah. Now, I'm not really expecting to get a whole lot of traction. I've got 4 viewers. That's cool. Before I had like 32. Funny how it goes from 4 to 32. The way the metrics work on YouTube is not a well understood. I'm gonna say science, although it's really just it's a Ponzi scheme. The whole fucking thing is rigged. But that's okay. Why shouldn't it be? There's nothing wrong with it. Internet streaming is a new science. Most people don't even know that it goes two-way. Huh? Oh my God, did I say that out loud? Okay, well, I don't have any way of confirming that it goes two-way. Maybe everyone on YouTube is just a lucky guesser. But that's not important now because I actually like the way it works. I don't have any problems with the way privacy issues are handled since I've seen different layers of attitude given to me in the years since I walked into a Box Canyon ambush and then stubbornly didn't die. There are levels of watching over a citizen that are generally invisible to the person being observed, other than perhaps a slight increase in like that feeling of somebody's watching me. Now they have the panopticon. Literally everybody is being watched all the time through the benign omnipresence of the omnibenevolent creator God of the universe. I know it's hard to believe since the world sucks and hates you, but the universe that created the world, it loves you, and it gave you a trip to Earth, which sucks. More on that later. And you know that it sucks, and so you've perhaps imagined that the entire rest of the universe sucks as well. Oh no, the rest of it's just fine. This is the only place that sucks. This place is a fucking cesspool of shit, and you love it. You come here for reasons which I'm not going to get into, and it's none of my damn business what they are. But I used to think this place sucked too. Now I can see why people keep coming back. This creation thing is badass. Although I will say it does not improve much when being subjected to a bunch of racial and ethnic slurs that are focused on denigrating a person for their sexual orientation. Hi, gay, birded, homosexual. Look, everyone, it's a homosexual. Look at the gay man. Not gay, stop you gay. How old are you? Now, I'm not going to complain because, for one thing, there's only one person watching this, so it's like it didn't even happen. And when people watch this in the future, they'll probably have that part where I'm going to comment on hate crimes. They'll probably just skip over that part because it's not really a hate crime. This is actually flattering. People can't actually tell me what they really think of me because then their pimp daddies would knock them out and give them another black eye, which I guess is the common prescription for bound chattel slave whores who just won't stop talking about Jackstar and babbling about their rights. Maybe people do have rights, but I'm not in position to enforce them, and then I'm woefully ill-equipped to run around being either a captain or commander. Save a hoe. I don't particularly feel like saving hoes. Save them for what? After dinner? No, I'm busy saving me. Saving me a lot of heartache, a lot of distress, and a lot of ball breaking. Since I know that most of you listen to this think I'm just a pain in the ass, just a fucking worthless, reprobate, skis-ball, outlaw criminal who's so high on the smell of his own farts that he thinks he's gonna run off with the whatever. You can't keep getting away with it. Okay, so I'm not getting away with anything. I'm not likely to get away with anything. I'm not planning to get away with anything. I don't think I have gotten away with anything. I don't run my mouth off as much as people think, nor do I get anywhere really close to the topics that I shouldn't be talking about, which I won't even say what the fuck they are, but those of you who are aware of how these things work, you know that there's stuff that I could go on at length about, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. Weave me a fruit basket, all this shit. Like, there's so many things I could start talking about that I already have talked about that a stupid person would think perhaps that now was, the best time to double down and make sure I got the story out, make sure people didn't forget me. I'm pretty sure people haven't forgotten about me. Pretty sure. I don't know who is aware of me at all. I don't know how many of those people who are aware of me curse my name and fork the side of the evil eye at me. In case you don't know, it's this one. I haven't gotten that one lately, but I have gotten that one. And the people who are not making that side of me, once again for your reference, That's called when you're being forked. I don't blame people for feeling like the need to do that because for one thing, it's fucking funny. Little old ladies going like that. Just imagine. I'm hoping that's going to be like Arsenio's woof 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 thing. If I ever, God fucking forgive me, heaven forfend this ever occurs, but if I ever get to be that level of asshole, not that Arsenio Hawes is an asshole, but if I were to become some sort of late night television personality, just fucking shoot me. But I would want mine to be, instead of woof woof woof, it would be, that's mine. I just decided that right now. Not gay, stop you gay, look at the gay man. Do I seem gay? Come on, don't all men of the age 50 or so with a clearly gray beard and a tonsure, don't we all have blankets wrapped around our necks? Isn't that what we do? Aren't I normal? I'm one shoulder pad away from Klaus Schwab right here. Not really, not Klaus. Now, I don't know any of these people, but because of reasons up to, I used to put my wee into this hoo-ha of a woman who actively was afraid of the feud that she had begun with a woman named, forgive me, Somerset Maugham. Maugham? I don't remember. I don't know who this woman is. Somerset Maugham. I think it's a pseudonym or a nom de plume for somebody who's pretty high up there in terms of cash, checking, savings, and credit card limit, and connection to old world royalty. I don't know where the fuck they had ever met, but when Sweetie started worrying about what the fuck some broad named Somerset Maugham was going to do, and acted like it mattered, and then not in the same breath, but in the same, I think, week, she expressed to me her concerns that she had so many enemies that they included intergalactic bounty hunters, that she was afraid of catching up to her. And whether that was a euphemism or whether it meant intergalactic bounty hunters that had been trying to track my Sweetie down for, I want to say, decades, as she dodged their interstellar space parsec bargade. What other fuck kind of batshit crazy stuff that my Sweetie went up to? She did it with other people, and they're all batshit crazy too, which is fine, because you wouldn't want them to be sober and sane-minded, would you? While being chased by intergalactic space pirates, or whatever the fuck, whatever. I mean, at the time, it was a little late to be giving me a debrief on that level. And then I didn't care because they could be interstellar bounty hunters. I don't give a fuck. They can come talk to me, and then I'll explain. And if they want to go around me to go harass my Sweetie, it's probably not going to go well, for reasons which I won't go into, other than to say it's not because I'm a big deal. It's because there are certain rules for pursuing certain kinds of crimes. You can't just break down the door and start hauling people away at Thanksgiving dinner unless there's certain things that have been done. Similarly, even though I guess there's a bunch of people who want me to disappear so they can take over this house or whatnot, I feel you. It's a cool house. And then the longer I'm here, the more likely I am to notice, wow, cool. And then that's supposedly going to be a bad time for certain people, since they can't really guarantee I'm not going to turn into Nouveau Jeu Edith, what's her name? Rosenthal? Was it Rosenthals? The Rosenthals were the spies who ratted out the Manhattan Project. Well, whatever the story was. I don't plan on selling my country, either on purpose or accidentally. And I don't have to. And I also don't have to breathe a fucking word about what Blackcraft Masonry is doing to do whatever the fuck it does. I don't care. It's their show. It's their secrets. I have done nothing more than to create a safe healing space for the Masons to do their own healing in their own way, without oversight or concern or attention or anything more than just mild, gentle mocking. Now, I don't know how they're doing. They don't answer to me. I don't know who they answer to. I don't give a fuck. Whatever the fucking high level of super secret echelon, like, it's not my business, pal. It's just not. And I possess this remarkably well thought out and brilliantly designed technology, courtesy of God. It's called knowing how to mind your own fucking business. Now, I could speculate openly about what the fuck's going on, and I'm not gonna lie, it would be funny. It would be fucking hilarious. It would be impolite. One does not create a safe space for somewhere between 1/3 to 1/5 of the total Masonic contraption that you got running around the planet. Whatever the fuck. There's a certain segment of them that are. I don't want to say diseased or corrupt. I don't even want to say unwell. I'm going to say they're a little queasy. Little queasy. And without categorically denying that has anything to do with me, I'll just say that there's some aspects of today's modern world that some batshit crazy, racist, bigot, teetotaling slime really don't like the looks of, since I don't really appear to be insane. I'm not really engaging in drug-seeking behavior. Now that I found out where my ounce of weed went, right on, with my compliments. I can see why nobody's admitting this. I can see why nobody's announcing this. I can see why nobody's saying, thanks, Jack. Shit. I don't expect anybody to say thanks, since that would imply that I did something useful, something worth thanking me for. That put me on a fast track to getting hung from a tree. Since if I did any of the things that people had imagined that I had been doing, I wouldn't deserve to be sitting here at all. I should be covered in fucking molten honey and set on fire with a fucking flamethrower. There's a list of crimes that I've never engaged in that I steadfastly stated because I knew it to be true. No, I never did that. Nor did that. While simultaneously, there's up to 5 or 6 dudes running around with my face and my ID across the world, committing those very same crimes on the daily because they were bankrolled by I don't know who to do that. But it was all part of this big umbrella system that I wasn't meant to discover the intricate workings of at all, let alone quickly enough to figure out how to dodge the hammer. Although I really haven't dodged the hammer. More on that later. Needless to say, this is spooked some people. Spooked some people who are counting on things like sky to be blue, sun to rise and set, and little Michael Kuzi to be just a fat, worthless, lazy, pedo piece of shit. Right? That I'm a pedophile. I'm in denial, right? And I kill cats. Oh, I do it all the time. Oh, twice before breakfast is best. You gotta get that flavor out. And then I wring them out and add their blood to my laundry because of blood laundry. It's not libel, it's label. My blood laundry label. I was thinking of having a bile laundry competing label, and I was gonna array them against each other like Starbucks versus SBC, and then really rake in the bucks. But cooler heads have prevailed. I haven't done anything you've ever heard of me doing. I never did. I don't know what you have heard of me doing other than fucking dogs and dolphins and trying to make the trifecta of a teenage cheerleader, which a dolphin, dog, and a teenage girl. That sounds like the plot to Spitfire and the Mechanics. What was that new universe title in Marvel? Spitfire and the Troubleshooters. The girl has a father who's like Tony Stark. He gets attacked by somebody, and she has to grab his suit of armor called Spitfire. It's all red. And with her ragtag group of college students who desperately need to have a show on the network that hosts Mythbusters. But anyway, they were fighting crime, and she had the suit, and it was all the struggles of a young adult woman who just lost her father to Soviet spies, and she had to keep her father's technology safe, which was a big red suit. That's Spitfire. So hence Spitfire. Fuck. It's amazing the things we take from our youth. Hang on. Not gay. Stop you gay. Look at the gay man. Look, everyone, it's a homosexual. Gay bearded homosexual. Okay. Now this isn't hate. For one thing, nobody's seeing these things. The only people that are seeing me at all right now, well, it says 0. I've been going on for 25 minutes. I have 0 watchers. 0. Where'd they all go? I had quite a few at the beginning. Well, see, those people were shunted aside, and they were sniped or harvested or abducted by probably anybody other than Michael Van Dieven. And he has people for that. And the notion that I was going to go, oh, hi, there's one. Hey, bud. The notion that I'm ever going to be able to just turn on YouTube Live and then speak freely. Not for a while. No. People have questions. People have concerns. Most of those are probably valid, largely because they don't really have anywhere that they can turn to ask for warm, soft, comforting statements about Michael Clifford Cousy from an authority figure, mostly because authority figures haven't bothered to talk to me about jack or shit the whole fucking time. They've just been mumbling at me through spurgling underlings, and that's usually good enough. Why, he's just a citizen. He doesn't matter, doesn't matter, he doesn't matter, he doesn't matter. I actually had a dude last week. Whatever you think you got on tape's not going to matter because you don't have any money to bring a case. Like this was actually something that went through his head. Not that he was saying that he was, innocent, but that he was saying that since I didn't have any money to hire a lawyer to play the game, I didn't have anything to do except let him abuse me in public and holler at me like I was his property and act like I needed to owe him something for getting in the way of his fucking lunch money fucking plan. Like these people they're not crazy, but they're itching closer and closer to a status that we in the business like to call unhinged. Okay. And I don't want that. The people who are upset right now, hi guys, hi, I'm sorry. I take no pleasure in your discomfort, although I am relieved that I can make this public service announcement. It's a public service announcement and say that I'm not trying to enhance your misery. That's what you people do. You teach your little lessons and then you add on a little rejoinder at the end. It is what it is. As above, so below. It's the company you keep. Like, just fucking shoot me. No fucking wonder you got nobody paying the fucking dues. Like, public relations with your people is like down right in the shitter ever since 1955. Gee, I wonder why. That's okay. I don't need to worry about that. The more important thing is that these people are going to be able to allowed to handle their shit with dignity and privacy and grace, because nearly every single person that I've ever heard of in my entire life has been doing the best they knew how to get around the problem that we now face, which is you're all super embarrassed. You all have shitloads of criminal and legal liability. You have no leverage over somebody. And one sternly worded letter from me to the editor of the New York Times, and you're all fucked. Fucked. Now, I am not writing any such letter. I do not need to write any such letter. You're pretty fucked regardless. Don't joke about Jewel. Just don't. You don't know. Now, I'm not upset about anything, and then that, to some people, that kind of makes it even more chilling, since I'm obviously an emotionless, soulless, Terminator-like creature who's can't be reasoned with, argued with, or bought. I can be hugged, but there's not really a protocol for that. Nobody's going to give the Whopper a hug, right? Because people think in terms of the old way. People think in terms of, you got to conquer. You got to really drill down and put the thumb screw to him and show him who's boss and teach him a lesson and show him who wears the pants. Okay, I don't have to do any of that shit. For one thing, I'm not doing anything. It's God. For another, I don't think God needs to drill down. If you haven't seen anything that lets you know that God loves you, he really does, and is doing everything possible to keep things on an even keel, and is delightfully happy with stuff that I've done that I can't talk about. In God's case, it's just because I think he likes to hang me out to dry. He seems to do that with his favorite sons. But in reality, it's just it's nobody's business. It's actually getting handled. And it's getting handled in a way that's probably unusual to most of you. It's getting handled correctly, bitch! Shout out to one particular lingerie drawer owner. I won't say who. But it's not necessary for these people to freak out and try to make real certain that Michael Cousy gets the message. You're not supposed to talk about stuff. How dare you keep talking? We're going to turn off your Starlink. We're going to take your money. We're going to laugh at you. We're going to set up Hollywood Cannon. We're going to do it at the same time as the government shut down. And then we're going to laugh as you try to get food stamps. Because they think I need food. Seriously. I have the tolerance of a donut. I can miss a few meals. We're good. Getting food is not really the problem. Making a bold declarative stand at the only time in my life I'm ever going to be able to do so, that matters. For example, I knew that there was a tightening up of the rules since the last time I got food stamps. And the last time I got food stamps, I was looked upon with shock and horror by somebody who acted as though I shouldn't have been getting them. That's because that person thought that I was somebody who had access to shitloads of money and was hiding it. But I don't. I've never had access to shitloads of money and been hiding it. Pretty sure that people in my family who will remain nameless, thanks, Mom, had things going on that they didn't tell me. Now, that sounds pretty lame. I had no idea. I'm 52 years old and my mommy didn't tell me anything and I never thought to ask. Yeah, that sounds lame, doesn't it? Oh, I'm an autist. I don't know. No, and incidentally, to that officer who came to my house who was offended, I'm sorry about that, sir. I didn't mean to insult you like that. Nor would I have made that particular joke at that time if I had known that I really was a retarded retard and that retardation had been brought about on purpose through some sort of means. I won't say exactly how, but let's just say I never fell off my trike before. Why did I suddenly feel compelled to drive it down a long, rocky driveway on 39th Avenue Northeast? Why did I feel compelled to do that? Why did I think I would be okay? Well, it was because God wanted my nose to be pushed in. And then, even though I have not so obvious now, but it's pretty plainly a deviated septum, and nobody told me while they were stripping me naked to the waist and checking me for scoliosis. It seemed like twice a week, in order to make sure that I was humiliated and to have everybody observe my peculiar physiognomy, which, well, I won't say why it came about, but why did I have a panis at age 7? No one knows. No one knows. It's a mystery. And then why did the doctor who didn't want to tell me what the fuck was going on when I said, dude, what's wrong with my nose? And he said, well, we can do a CAT scan. And I'm like, yeah, let's do a fucking CAT scan. Because although I had noticed that most people didn't seem to complain about knives stabbing them in the face when they went outside to play in the winter, I noticed that there was something about breathing that wasn't really working very well. And in addition, although it took a while for me to make the connection, the way that whenever I talked to a girl that I liked, I would start spasming and hiccuping. That seemed kind of strange. I wasn't really clear on why that would happen at all. But now that I know, I'm all smiles. I don't plan on telling all of that story or suing Shoreline School District number 412 or even writing a 5-volume epic mega science fiction series called Battlespace Spurf or something. Battlespace Spurf. Battle Smurf Space? I don't know. I don't need to make John Travolta any sadder than he already is by rewriting one of the finest science fiction novels ever written and then making fun of his movie because fuck, I don't even know if I should make fun of it. I mean, the movie I thought it was good. And then maybe he saved himself a whole bunch of money by not having to make a part 2, by making it just obvious. Hey, read the fucking book. Pretty good book. There's a lot of these things I can't really touch on, and I once asked somebody if they could train me in all the stuff that a person who would be taking over the chair of a famous late night radio talk show host. I didn't plan on doing that. Fuck no, I still don't plan on. But I did want to know what kind of skills a person would need. So I asked this person to train me in what that would need, just in case in the future something happens to George, heaven forfend, but maybe he gets his tongue burnt on a hot license plate stamp. I don't know, but let's just say he needs somebody to sub in to be the Joan Rivers to George Norrie's Johnny Carson, and then to never have to show up to work. That's my dream job. The whole never having to show up to work part. I like that part. When I wake up and I'm in bed, you know what I like to do? Go back to fucking sleep. I like sleep, especially if I'm in bed with somebody. Not really an issue now, but if I'm in bed with somebody and I wake up, that's a totally different calculus than if I'm in bed alone and I go to sleep alone and I wake up alone and I go to sleep alone and I wake up alone and I go to sleep alone. And then I notice that while I'm sleeping, people are coming to the house and making little subtle hints happen, as if I'm some sort of retarded dachshund that can't be trusted to fucking go around the paper. Like, they can't just come to me and say, "Okay, so here's the deal. We're gonna float a new narrative past Congress because we want to get away with this one, and we want you to cooperate, but we can't tell you, see, because otherwise that'd be some felony thing, witness tampering. Yeah. So don't tell anybody that we're talking to you, and then we can trust you to not only keep our secrets, but you won't sue the government for witness tampering, right? You're not recording this, are you?" That's not how it works. It's not how it works, and I don't blame the military government or the civilian government. I don't blame them for not taking chances. They took chances already. They're like, "Oh, just laugh at him on Christmas. What harm could it do? Oh, just kill him. Just kill him. Just get a life insurance policy and just kill him. Just hire an actor. Just replace him. Just take away his cars. Just take away his money. Just call him a bunch of fucking ethnic slurs for fucking 3.5 fucking years. What could go wrong? Just take a chance." They don't really do that anymore. Hi, gay bearded homosexual. Look, everyone, it's a homosexual. Look at the gay man. Not gay. Stop, you gay. How old are you? Okay, these are still the only messages I got. I got 0 viewers. It's funny. At one point I had 36. I guess that was a faulty estimate. The reality is that I just simply say challenging things in a challenging way that makes it challenging for censors who don't have to challenge me. They just go, beep, beep, beep. They just get rid of it. And if it's too much work for them to figure out, okay, now what is he trying to say? Is this Hungarian bastard trying to pull a fast one again? No, bitch. No, I'm not trying. I'm not pulling. It ain't that fast. Why don't you just listen slower? How about that?